Hello from Gardening at Dwensa here in Ireland, and today I want to show you some orchid spikes I have brewing. That opening shot was obviously just to confuse you because they're not orchid spikes at all, are they? They're epiphyllums. But anyway, so I'm going to show you the orchid spikes I have that I didn't show you before. So I already showed you my Cattleyas, so no Cattleyas here. I'm sorry for all those Cattleya lovers out there. And diving in there right at the very front, we have the Howeara that Archie sent me earlier on in the year. And it is in glorious spike. If we come in closely, you can see that those buds are beginning to colour up and show the markings of the eventual flowers. So this is doing really well. And as you can see, there's actually two plants in this pot. Archie sent me quite a large division of this Howeara, but it was actually two pieces. But I put them in the same pot, and it's still potted in pure sphagnum, but it's doing well. So I'm really looking forward to these lovely little yellow flowers. Super. And next door to the Howeara, we have Aerangis citrata, which is giving me 3 flower spikes this year. Now this one flowered for me last year and it was beautiful. I can't remember how many spikes I had, 2 maybe, but I've got 3 this year. It's been potted on into a bigger pot, still putting a bit of moss on top just to keep the humidity in there. But I'm really looking forward to these long drooping white flower spikes. Lovely little plant. There's bad news for my Dendrobium rhodostictum. And this one, which I got earlier this year in flower, since then produced a spike up here. But as you can see, it blasted, which is, well, a bit of a pain. Now I'm still hopeful that this other new growth might produce a sheath and a flower spike. But, well, we'll have to see, won't we? Behind those plants we have Oncidium Twinkle, and it is Oncidium Twinkle season again, isn't it? I've got 6 spikes on this white Oncidium Twinkle. This is the one I've had for quite a while. So 1, 2, 3. That one got a bit bent somehow. 4 at the back. 5 in there, and there's a 6th one. Yeah, there. 6. So that's doing well, and I look forward to beautiful scented little flowers as always with that plant. On this one here, it's quite a new purchase for me, but it's beginning to spike up nicely now, and I've got 1, 2, it's slower than the other one, 3. And as you can see, I think there's 4 spikes. The plants are quite different. This one is smaller and greener, and just a lot less lush looking than the other one. So I don't know if it's had slightly less light but anyway, that one's more advanced. This one's slower, but still it's producing spikes. So that's just good news. Moving up from the twinkles, we have the famous Oncidium or Odontoglossum hybrid known as Stirbic. And as you can see, I have 2 glorious spikes. 1 and another one over this side, so I can't wait. This is a really, really beautiful flower, and I was worried about this plant for a little bit earlier on. It seemed to get a kind of brown dust on the leaves, so I sprayed it and kept it in isolation, but that meant it was on a north-facing window, so getting less light, but even still, it's managed to give me 2 spikes, so that's not bad really. Oh, yes, come over here. This is my really, really, really exciting news. And what we're looking at here is my Angraecum Crestwood, which I've had for a while now. This came to me already at flowering size the spring before last, if I'm not wrong. And, well, it hasn't flowered. And it had a little accident at one stage. My cat jumped into the plant room and knocked it over, and it fell on the ground and came out of its pot and seemed to sulk after that. But I put it back in, and more recently I can tell it's doing well because it's got good root growth from down below. But yesterday when I was looking at my plants, I discovered something really exciting. There, look, it's a flower spike. I can't wait. I can't wait to see this one in flower. Absolutely can't wait. It's Crestwood. I don't know. I'm going to put the names of all of these plants in the details of the video. But wow, I can't wait. Am I just going to get one spike, I wonder? Or will others come afterwards? I don't know. But it's really exciting. And behind the Angraecum, we have the Vanda that was in spike very recently. There's the spent spike, which I haven't even had a chance to remove. When what do I see? But another spike coming. Now, as you know, I've been moving all of my Vandas to potting, but this is the one that got left behind. I didn't have enough bark to pot this one. Although I've no excuse because my friend took pity on me and gave me enough bark to pot it up. I just never got round to it. And yet it is throwing up another spike. So, well, that's good. Good news. And now I'm just going to show you a Cattleya that has recently come into spike. And it's right up here. Now this one wasn't in spike when I made the last video about Cattleyas, but as you can see, this Cattleya has Cattlianthe in its ancestry, so it produces no sheath, and that always makes it a bit trickier to get the plant to come into flower. And you can see between those two buds there's a third one that actually blasted. But I'm pleased. This plant has been divided this year. I took 2 divisions off it. So I'm glad to get some flowers from this new growth. It's called Blossom Bounty. And that's all I have to show you for the moment, except for what's out in the greenhouse. So maybe take a little trip with me outdoors to the greenhouse. You'll need to put on your coat and your hat because it's blooming freezing out there. We've frost on the grass. So come on, don't be a wimp. Let's go out and take a look. And here we are out in the greenhouse where I've come to see my Cymbidiums and see which one of those are in spike at the moment. And it's been quite cold lately, so, well, they haven't been watered as often as I'd like them to be. And here we go. Cymbidium City. The large white Cymbidium at the front, it's a noid, but this is the one that flowers for me regularly this early. So it's much earlier than the other ones. And are we in focus there? This spike here has been very naughty and decided to extend itself along before I had a chance to stake the thing up. So it's now at the most awkward angle and I have to be really careful not to break it off. So I've got 4 spikes. This is a second spike with 4 buds. I've a sad looking spike over there with just 1 bud, and then I've a 4th spike here with, well, 2 flowers on it because they're open. Actually the flowers aren't open fully because the sepal hasn't extended its way up. Now it's unfortunate the way that flower is opening on top of the one below because it kind of detracts from it. This flower would be quite beautiful if it hadn't been encumbered by that one sitting on top of it like a great big freeloader and just spoiling the whole look of it. But, well, what can you do? This one will open better, and the one that's hanging down here will certainly open better because there's nothing to impede the floriferousness of it. As for my other big Cymbidiums, I have 2 more big ones, and this one, the absolute giant, is covered in spikes. Even that one in there, can we see it? It's actually, the buds are coming out the top of it now. Can we just see? There. That looks like a spike down there, and there are lots all the way around. This was repotted into quite a large pot this year, and we'll see how it does because this is actually a miniature Cymbidium. It started off quite small, so we'll see how it looks in such a big pot. And this one here is the one with the dark red flowers. So this is the red one, and this is also emerging from the flower spike. I just see 1 spike so far on this one, but well, 1 is good. That brings me to the end of this video of mine on orchids in spike that we haven't had a look at recently, and ending up with the Cymbidiums in the cold greenhouse. I hope you liked it. I hope you'll check back again for lots more gardening stuff, and I do hope you'll subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Bye now.